Hello, this is Rick Patterson talking to you today about how to install lighting using channeling. I have a product here that's called on-wall molding. Let me give you a close-up of it. Basically what channeling is for is when you don't want to mess up any of your wall, don't want to go behind the wall, do all that digging and fishing with the fish tape or anything like this. This particular type of wall molding actually fastens to the wall itself, and then we run wiring inside, and everything's snug and flush up to the wall. Let's go ahead with this project. Again, what we're going to do is use my snipper, and it's actually a detector of anything electronics. I've got it on, and as you can see here, it makes a little sound, and plus it gives me an LED light to show that there is power. What I'm going to do now is go turn the power off and then retest it one more time to make sure that there's no power working on the outlet that I'm going to be working on. One thing you always have to do when working with electricity is go to the source, which is now the panel box, turn the breaker off, and then test the outlet or any of the system that you're working on. Okay, I'm at the panel box and I have located the switch here, the breaker. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn the breaker off at this point and then go back and test it one more time to make sure that there's no power coming to the outlet that I'm working on. Okay, I'm back at the breaker. I've got the detector on and there's no power. Now I'm going to go test it at another outlet just to make sure that my detector is working and that this is not a false read. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and try this now. Now that's a good one. This power's on, so the other one's off and my detector's still working. So now what I'm going to do is mount this extension back onto the outlet box. Okay, so what I've done here is pulled out the outlet, make sure everything's make sure all the power's off before I work with anything. I've double checked every part and every possibility, even plugged in an outlet to make sure that these, plugged in an appliance to make sure that all of these are completely dead before I even start tapping into it. So what I'm going to do is run a piggyback off of this. So I'm going to cut 3 wires, the black, the white, and the ground. The ground is the wire that's not insulated at all. So I'm going to keep these in here, and I'm going to skim back just a little bit, get about a ½ inch or so. So I skim back these wires here. Okay, what I'm going to use now is, this is a product made by Ideal. It's called a push-in wire connector. These are great savers, space savers for me. So I'm going to do an overkill actually. What I'm going to do first off is make sure that the length that I've skimmed back is a good length where it fits inside. I'll show you a close-up. I'll show you a close-up of what this looks like. So the wires actually push in through the holes right here and up into, and then they bite onto this and will not let go. So once you set this in there, like this, it's in there and it won't let go, it won't come out whatsoever. Now it'll stop right like so once it reaches the inside casing. So I'm going to put one on here, on the black, and then one on the white, and do the same thing. It'll stop. Just make sure that the insulation goes all the way up into the encasement. If it does not, you need to wrap the wire that's exposed, any of the copper wiring that's exposed. Be sure to wrap it good with electrical tape where it's not exposed whatsoever. Now what I'm going to do is take, and I'm going to do one just for kicks. I'm going to go ahead and do one on the ground wire. That way I don't have to worry about any of the connections coming loose for the ground. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is take the package that I have. This is the outlet box kit here, and I've already disassembled it, and I've knocked the back out completely because this comes with the backing on, so I need this off. So I took that off, and I'm going to go ahead and place this outlet inside here. Just like so. Now what I'm going to do is take the white wire, and I can plug it up into any spot that I want to. Again, white to white, always match your colors. White to white, black to black. Just to make sure I'm not too exposed here. I'm good. So I'm going to put this into the wire connector, and I am ready to rock and roll. Got to do my got to do my gold piece here. Got to do the wire, the grounding. Now I'm ready to go ahead with everything else. So now we're ready to go ahead and run our extensions. Here what I'm going to use is the 14-2 wiring, and make sure that you have enough, more than enough is always a good rule for me. What 14-2 means, basically this is 14 gauge wiring, and then it's 2 wires plus a ground with the ground. 2 wires with the ground. Okay, I have my distance. I'm going to go ahead and cut the wire, get it ready. What I do here is just take my pliers, cut the insulation a little bit, take it now and just expose the wires completely where you can get to them and see them. the copper wire is your ground wire. And here we've got the black. I'm going to skim it back a little bit. Do the same thing to the white. Skim it back as well. Okay, what I do here again is just check to make sure I don't have too much exposed. I have just a little bit too much. I'm going to clip these a little bit. White again goes into white. There. Black goes into black. Working with these wires, you have to be flexible a little bit. That's good there, it stopped. And again, my copper wire, you can just bend it and go ahead and connect and push straight into that. And it's there. Now what I'm going to do is take all of this, get it into the box, push everything flush. What you want to do when you are working with that ground wire, you want to make sure it gets behind everything and it doesn't touch anything. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and install the faceplate or the covering around the box, the extension box. And if you notice right here in the inside, there are places for the wirings to come out. So what I'm going to do is take my pliers and grab a hold of just this one little section right here, bend it back and forth until it comes out, and now I've got a place for this wiring to come through. So I'm going to do the bottom as well, because I'm going to run this out the bottom along the baseboard. So I take this like so. I'm going to go ahead and secure this outlet completely to the box itself. I'm going to go ahead and secure this outlet to the extension itself. Take it like so. Go ahead and secure it completely where I can get everything firmed up, looking the way it should. Now I've got this ready. Going to go ahead and push this in until it snaps. And it's flush up against the wall. And now we're ready to go ahead and run our channeling up inside, like so. What I want to do here is install a light switch to control all my lights that I'm installing. The code calls for the bottom to be around 50, 51.5 here. So I'm going to make my cut as I need. So from the top of the box to the floor, I find 50.5 inches. I'll make my mark just like so. And then I'm going to cut this channeling. This channeling will separate, and I'm going to unslide it here, open it up, and I'm going to use the backing here. What I'm going to do is install 2 wall anchors into the backing of this to give this a good solid flush mount up against the wall. What you do here is go ahead and take the channeling, take your level, make sure everything's done correctly, and then go ahead and drill 2 holes through the channeling into the wall. Once that's done, you can take some wall anchors, and they basically look like big screws. Take those, drill them straight into the wall. Take the drill, take the screw, and go right into the wall anchor. And then you're ready to secure your wiring. Now we're ready to install the light switch. Take the backing off the light switch, completely disassemble it. Mark the holes in the backing. Insert wall unit. Here we're going to install the wall anchors again. Because I'm going through the box up to my light above it, I'm going to go ahead and take the little slots here and take this and just bend this completely out on both ends. Here I want to make sure that my channeling fits through. It doesn't fit just right now. There are extra wider slots here that I can pull out. I'm going to go ahead and clip those out. Now we're going to do this on both ends. That way my channeling fits directly into, flush into the box itself. Now that I've done that, my channeling now fits flush in the box. Before we go any further, what I'm going to have to do is pull up enough wiring to go up into the box, up through the channeling to where this runs to another light. One quick note here, when you're working with electrical and you've got more than one wire running through the same source, you want to go ahead and identify at least one of them. What I've done here is just put a mark on the end of my power source. So this is tapping in from, the power is tapping in from the outlet up to my switch, and then this is the line that's going to be going to the other light fixture. Now we're ready to go ahead and take the wires, conceal them completely. What you do is just tuck them in and then take the channeling and push it until it completely snaps on both sides. We're going to go ahead and install a 4-foot light. This is a fluorescent light on both ends of this long closet that I'm installing these lights on. So we're going to go ahead and go with that procedure now. What I'm going to do here is just mark at either end in the pre-drilled holes inside the light fixture. Then insert the wall anchors and secure the light fixture up to that particular, and then secure the wall fix, and then secure the light fixture to the wall. Now what we do is go ahead and find out where the plumb line is, all the way up to the fixture that's attached up to the top of the wall. Now what I do is make my cut into the light fixture itself for access for the wiring. We have the channel already run up to the light fixture. Now we're ready to install the light switch. As you can tell here, what I've done is a technique. There's several ways to wire a light switch, and I chose to do this one. This is for a single pole light switch, and you can just see there's not any other screws on the other side. There's only 2 here. So what I've done is taken my white wires and I've connected those together with a wire connector, tucked that away. I've attached my ground wires and twisted them, and they're ready to install. They're ready to connect. Once I connect this to the green screw, I then connect the black wires onto one each onto the screws to the light switch. That way when I turn on and off the light switch, it breaks the current. As you can see here, I've attached the ground wire to the green screw, and now I'm ready to go ahead and attach the black wiring onto this side and to the screws there. So what I do is take the wire, and then once it's around, I pinch them. That way they'll stay on just a little bit better. And then I take the screw and all the way in. And now that's ready to go. As an added precaution, what I do is just take some black tape. This is electrical tape, and I wrap these wires connections. That way, in case anything ever happened, God forbid, nobody gets shocked, and this is no way for it to no way for it. As an extra precaution, what I've done here is just gone ahead and wrapped all the screws, connections there to make sure that there's no way for anything to come in contact with it. Okay, we've secured the switch, and now we're ready to go ahead and put the faceplate on. I've restored the power, and now we're ready to see if everything works. Let's go. How's that for success?
This is Rick Patterson with the Handyman Toolbox. By the way, before you go, I want to encourage you to check out my other videos, and you'll see a link below. Click on it. The 1,000th person that subscribes to TheHandymanToolbox.com gets a free tool. Go ahead and register now. See you there.